Expert on sports. First American Bank's 4th Down on 4.
Well, welcome into the show. The Saints are 4-0, and they look every bit the part. But really, let's be honest, how often could the final score swing in the Saints' favor when Drew Brees throws for less than 200 yards? Back-to-back weeks now, that's happened, and back-to-back weeks, the Saints' defense has been the hero. It was the immovable object against the unstoppable force. The Saints had scored a touchdown in every opening drive this season. The Jets, meanwhile, hadn't allowed a point on any opening drives. John Carney's 34-yard field goal compromised both streaks. What wouldn't be compromised, the Saints' defense, in a matchup heralded as a clash of the Titans. Sean Payton's offense versus Rex Ryan's defense. A sleeping giant, again, was awoke. Clinging to that 3-0 lead, Darren Sharper baited and Mark Sanchez bit.
Intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Darren Sharper.
A 99-yard interception return put the Saints up 10-0 and showed the 4-time Pro Bowler just might be as sharp as ever.
And I just attacked the football, and Sanchez, I don't think, saw me coming because initially he looked open. And I was able to get my hands on it, hold on to it, and then when I caught it, I kind of stopped and just started running a little slow because I was trying to see what was around me. And I said, why don't I turn on the speed a little bit to show people I can still run? And then when I got to Sanchez, he got cut. I said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and shut it on down now.
The Saints twice went for it on 4th down Sunday. Neither were successful. But instead of impeding a win, the failed conversions led to opportunities for the Saints defense. A Will Smith sack gave way to a Remy Ayodele recovery and a 17-0 lead, thanks to 2 touchdowns by the defense.
You get a little bit more confidence on 4th down to go for a football, or go for a play rather than punt it or kick a field goal. And we kind of came into this game going to play it aggressively to win. And, we were able to do that.
For the second straight game, Drew Brees was held out of the end zone. And until the 4th quarter, the Saints offense was again limited. But so too were the mistakes. Managing the football game rather than simply trying to score more points.
My job as a quarterback is to lead that group of men and to manage the game and to put us in the best position to score points, take care of the football, and win games. And, the fact that we, last 2 games, we haven't thrown a touchdown pass. In fact, yardage-wise, just kind of throwing for $170, $190, whatever it is. But I think the balance, playing that complementary type of offensive football with the run and the pass, it just helps. It's good for our offense. It's good for the players. I mean, it's winning football games. So in the end, it doesn't matter how we get it done as long as we get it done.
Brees and the Saints offense outsmarted the Jets on a 4th down call. And eventually sealed a 4-0 start with a Pierre Thomas 1-yard plunge. Their only offensive touchdown of the day.
This isn't about style points now, guys. This is about the formula to win each game and then get on to the next week.
And this is a new formula for the Saints. Brees 20 of 32, 190 yards. Like we said, his second straight game without a touchdown or cracking the 200-yard passing mark. Pierre Thomas, the Saints' leading rusher, the Saints' leading receiver, 132 total yards for number 23. Jeremy Shockey hauled in 4 grabs for 34 yards. Darren Sharper, though, once again, the man of the hour, 8 tackles, 2 picks, 1 to the house. Joining us now in studio, Roman Harper, 6 tackles, 2 quarterback hurries. This was a fun game, huh?
It was fun, man. We flew around defensively today, got after them like we planned out to do, man. And it was really nice. Big win for us, big team win, big win for the city.
Do you think this is the kind of game that maybe people were waiting to talk about the Saints defense? Because this whole built-up thing was Sean Payton against Rex Ryan. Mm-hmm. Now people are going to have to, maybe they thought last week was maybe kind of a, maybe
yeah,
so, but then this year when you do it 2 weeks in a row.
Exactly, especially with New York being as high as they were, it was the talk of the town, and versus their defense versus our offense was 2 mainstays, and you totally understand why. But our defense really stepped up. The big calls fumble for the touchdown with Will and Sharp making another big play, man. It's just big plays all over the board today, and we flew around. It was good being out there, being a part of that unit today.
When are you going to get enough info from what Sharper does so that you can get a pick 6?
I don't know, man. I might have to have him just pitch me one or something. He's getting them left and right, man. And he's jumping stuff. He's making big plays. I just need to get my hands on one too, man, see what I can do with it.
Talk about the physicalness of this play. I mean, you guys are making some big hits out there. You made one on a 3rd and 2. I thought you were going to get a 15-yard penalty on. You didn't, but just talk about the physicalness and the attitude that this defense has right now.
We knew it was going to be a physical game coming into it. You know, the Jets talk a lot. You know, they like to play physical, and you know, not just. And we knew we had to go out there and not just talk about it today. We need to be about it on the Saints end. And we went out there, wanted to start fast, hit them early, and just like Coach Payton said, we had to win the fight before we won the game today. And we went out there and tried to hit them first and win the fight and set the tone early. And then we later on we won the game.
Important to let that offense just kind of manage the game rather than try to outscore the other guys, because this is the 2nd straight week now. Drew Brees has been held out of the end zone. It really doesn't matter. I mean, you guys are outscoring the other team by yourself. How big is that? And you guys have to notice that.
Yeah, it was huge today. You know, we had two defensive touchdowns. That just hardly ever happens. You know that we can hold them to nothing, and then we're close to nothing, and then put some points on the board ourselves. So it was good, man. The offense could have just rested today. We had them today, and we know we're gonna need them to get our back sometime later on in the year, and that they're just gonna have to come through for us like we came for them today.
They did rest too a little bit until about the 4th quarter. One guy who helped move the change, tight end Jeremy Shockey, Juan Kincaid, caught up with him in the locker room after the game.
All right, Scott, thanks. Here with Jeremy Shockey. Jeremy, a 4-0 start for this football team. You could never ask for a better start and a better way of how this team is playing right now.
Yeah, it's been fun. I think everyone's playing really well together on all 3 phases of the game, and we can just continue to play well together. And one week if we put a lot of points up, or if the other week our defense helps us out, it's a win's a win, and it feels great today.
No one would have thought this team would go with maybe 8 quarters without Drew throwing a touchdown pass, and they would still get victories.
I mean, it just shows you, people are going to stop our pass, and we'll just run the ball on them. I mean, that's something that we'll do. Whatever they give us, we had our opportunities this game. I think we missed a couple, and I'll be able to give you more information as we see the film tomorrow. But I think the defense played great, and they really gave some cushion there.
The defense has kept this team up, kept this team going after the last 2 games.
I think defense and special teams have done a great job. Offense, anytime we've had a chance, I know we've kind of set ourselves up our first couple preseason games and regular season games by scoring a lot of points, but it's not going to be always like that. It's going to be a team effort, and that's what we are today.
You have 2 weeks to think about playing your old team. I know you've thought about it.
No, I really haven't. I'm just concentrate on the Jets here to face this opponent, and we'll get on and we'll correct some mistakes in this film, and we'll move on after that.
Giants don't matter at all now?
We don't have anybody this next week, so I think our biggest opponents are ourselves. Let's just fix the mistakes of today.
Thanks, Jeremy. Appreciate it.
Well, he talked about the bye week. You get to really enjoy this bye week now. I think Sean may give you a few more days off, huh?
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. Go check out my boys back in Alabama. So I'm going to go check those guys out, man. Hopefully we'll get us a big win against Ole Miss, man. I can give a shout-out to my man Deuce McAllister. Hopefully he'll be there, too.
Spending your off week in Oxford, huh?
Yeah, man, I'm going to see how it is. I've never been. Well, I've been to play, but I've never actually been to the city of Oxford. So I'm going to check it out and see what it's like.
All right, well, we're going to talk with you a little bit more after the break. When we come back, Saints safety Roman Harper is going to talk a little bit more about the guy that he watched take a 99-yard interception for a score, Darren Sharper. Stay with us. You're watching 4th Down. Well, all of the off-season retooling on Airline Drive has taken root. The Saints' main priority after back-to-back seasons without a playoff berth was making sure the Saints' defense was up to par with its high-powered offense. And maybe, just maybe, the team overcompensated. Here's Juan Kincaid.
Sanchez got rid of it, intercepted, picked off by Randall Gay.
All week long, all we heard was how the Jets' defense could be the difference in today's game. But the Saints flipped the script. Its own defense stole the show.
We took heed of that and know that they were going to talk about their defense, our offense. But I mean, it's the league. They want, guys may want to hype something up, but our main focus, our main goal on defense is to force turnovers, create the short field for our offense, and win the turnover battle, and be the most physical team at the end of the day.
Let us show on that field for 60 minutes. We ain't for all that trash talking, that hoorah-rah. Just come play. Let your play speak for you.
On a day when Rex Ryan's D was getting all the attention, the Saints D just went about business as usual. Another game, another 60 minutes of havoc created by Greg Williams' bunch, forcing Mark Sanchez into 4 turnovers, 3 of them through the air. 1 on the ground, a fumble in the end zone recovered by Remy Idell. So if you're keeping score, and who isn't, That's 13 turnovers forced in 4 games, a clear reason why the Saints are 4-0.
I thought our defense was outstanding today, and all 3 phases are needed to win football games, and I thought we did that today.
You know, watching film, he holds the ball loosely, and that's something that we practice every day, trying to get the ball out. Obviously not on our quarterbacks, but on each other and trying to bat the ball out. So when we get the opportunity, we got to take advantage of it.
There was nothing rocket science about the Saints' defensive approach to Mark Sanchez. Head coach Sean Payton said the one thing they wanted to do was confuse the Jets' rookie quarterback.
You got to be careful. It's just not all-out blitz. You've got to have a good mix. So I think that's factored in some.
We came from left, right, up the middle, all over the place. So he's a very smart quarterback, very accurate. You know, he's going to have a bright future in the league, and we knew that we had to confuse him early.
Sanchez throws an interception to Sharper.
And Sanchez's confusion brought out the best in the Saints secondary. Darren Sharper played center field like an all-pro.
I saw how he baited Sanchez in the throw. He backed up a little to make him think he was behind him, and right when he got ready to throw it, he jumped around. And I was like, man, you really baited him.
To me, he's a Hall of Famer already, man. I just got to give it to him because he's a great player. He plays the field like nobody else.
Right now, the entire 11 are looking the part of Pro Bowlers. For the 2nd week in a row, the offense lacked consistency, but the defense has had its back.
When I was at the Patriots, it was the same thing. They're going to talk about the offense that's explosive, and our offense has earned the right to be talked about all the time. We really have to just go out there every week like we've been doing lately and earn our right for y'all to talk about us.
The offense, more specifically Drew Brees, will come around sooner rather than later. But it's nice to know that this ball-hawking, smash-mouth defense appears to be here to stay. I'm Juan Kincaid, 4th down on 4.
Saints safety Roman Harper again joining us in studio to talk a little bit more about this defense. And, you know, you've been around some pretty good defensive minds. Joe Kynes at Alabama. I mean, Gary Gibbs is no slouch. Everything that he went through, he still knew some defense. But what is it that Greg Williams likes to do? I mean, is it kind of like a coach, a basketball coach, drawing up, you know, inbounds plays and stuff with the blitzes he comes up with?
No, not at all, man. It's he tries not to take a lot of credit, man, but you got to give it to him. He wants to, you know, put it all back on the players, and you know, it's about us and the heart and the attitude that we try and go out there and establish and play with now. And he's just lit a fire on this, man. You know, it's we play with emotion, we try and play fast. We're really together. We all care about each other on defense, man, and we look after each other, and we just try and get each other's back, man. I think that's the biggest thing about it.
7 points from a defense just seems to jazz up a crowd a little bit more than 7 points from an offense, doesn't it?
Does.
And now you've watched Darren Sharper take 2 back to the house. Just kind of talk about what that does for you guys, though.
It does, man. It gets us going. You know, they're driving. They think they got something going there in the red zone, and Sharp just shows up out of nowhere and gets the pick. You know, I didn't even see him until he caught it, and it was huge. You know, he jumps right over there, just looking at Sanchez's eyes, and gets him one right in the chest, man, and he takes it to the house. I'm just glad it didn't look like he was going to get caught today, man. He strided out pretty good. He was looking pretty fast. He didn't look nimble last time he caught one, so it was good for him, man. I'm just glad he's continued to score touchdowns, trying to chase records.
And he just does some things that you really can't coach. It's just one of those, he has it.
He has a knack for it, man. He's been making a lot of plays, a lot of picks in this league for a long time, you know, and he understands concepts, routes. He just sees it, and you know, he knows how to bait a quarterback. He knows how to play it, and you know, this is what we brought him here for. You know, we brought him here for his big playability, to play in the back and just, you know, make a lot of things easier on me and the rest of the defense. So he's definitely showing up, and he's making his money worth right now.
You get the bye week, and then you get the Giants. The Giants have the Raiders, so they'll more than likely be coming in here undefeated as well. Another big game, real quick, about 15 seconds left. How big of a game is this next game that you guys always like to talk about?
It seems like every game, the more wins we'll get, every game's going to get bigger and bigger. And that's how you have to look at it. You have to take it one game at a time, one day at a time, 1 week at a time, and just try and prepare yourselves like we have been and just trying to get better every day.
All right, try and enjoy Oxford.
Hey, thanks, God. I will. I promise I will.
Roman Harper, our guest tonight on 4th Down. Stay with us.
A gift of a baseball bat to every Saints player Saturday by the coaching staff conveyed the message, "Bring the wood" to the Jets in the Superdome on Sunday. Message received, delivery accomplished. The result is a 4-0 start by your New Orleans Saints, a start as encouraging for the way it's been fashioned as the record itself. As you looked at the schedule prior to the season, you would have been happy with a 3-1 start before the bye week. Instead, the sprint out of the gate in a 4-0 record provides the Saints with a bit of a cushion before the season resumes and the schedule toughens. In those 4 games, many of the offseason concerns have been allayed, at least for now. The suspect running game has prospered. The retooled defense has congealed in a remarkably short time. Yesterday, as that defense was about to take the field for the first time, with the Saints leading 3-0, there was actually an electric air of anticipation on the sideline and in the stands. Anticipation about a defense taking the field that in recent past would have provoked dread. It's not the Dome Patrol yet, but it's finally worthy of a moniker that doesn't include a profanity. 2 of its newcomers, Darren Sharper and Jabari Greer, have helped make this the best secondary in team history. Sharper providing the grand larceny of 97 and 99-yard interception returns. That makes Sharper only the 2nd player in NFL history to have 2 90-plus interception returns in a single season. The other, Deion Sanders in 1994. Greer providing the type of tight coverage on the corner Saints fans may never have seen at the position that has been a franchise-long problem. And while we're at it, a well-deserved nod to the personnel department that brought in free agents Sharper, Greer, Evans, and Hargrove. Solid upgrades at every position. And a draft that, though small in quantity, produced 2 quality selections in Jenkins and Morstead, with perhaps more to come after careers resume when injuries heal. All these players have contributed to a 4-0 start in which the Saints have never trailed in 16 quarters to begin the season. That ranks as the 4th longest streak in NFL history since 1970. 1/4 of the way through this season, making history is a distinct possibility for this team. Who would have thought that 4 games into the season, the Saints would be 4-0, that they would never have trailed, and that in just the 5th game of the season, when the Giants come here on October 18th, it will probably be for each team's unbeaten season to continue in a game that this early could already have home field advantage in the playoffs implications. Wake me, shake me when this dream is over, but right now we're all enjoying it way too much to be disturbed. And we hope you'll join us for our...
Well, it's pretty simple as to why the Saints are off to such a fast start. The Saints secondary was awful. Now it is more than solid with the additions of Darren Sharper, Jabari Greer, and Malcolm Jenkins. Add those 3 and defensive coordinator Greg Williams, and you get a much improved defense. The Saints needed improving in the punting and kickoff game. Rookie Thomas Morstead has performed very well. And Sean Payton is a better game manager. Payton realized that his team had to run the ball more, and they have. Throughout this season, Payton has talked about playing a more complementary game. Running time off the clock helps your defense. The head coach checked his ego at the door, and because of it, his team is better.
How much better do you think they are?
Well, you know what? I think they're a lot better. There's no question about that. I think we're going to get the litmus test here in about 13 days if Eli Manning is healthy.
Indeed. All right, thank you.